Hi, back again. This is Jerry Q. Um, Continuing, this is Gerber suspension-NXT multi-tool video part 2. Our first one, we were kind of discombobulated doing our unboxing or uncarding, if you would. Um, and so, just to remind you, this comes in this handy dandy little clamshell, which I usually cut myself trying to open earlier. I haven't cut myself with a knife in quite some time, but also show you how not to do things. Anyways, quite a few people have done videos about this, so I'm going to give you some slightly different impressions and like my opinion, because why you're watching my channel, because maybe I have something different to say than the 22 other people who made videos about the Gerber suspension-NXT. So there we are. So the first thing, and though many people have mentioned the same thing, this is kind of heavy. It's 6.5 ounces, but not in a bad way. I think the big brothers, the big expensive brothers, are a little lighter for the size per size. But overall, in the bottom line, that their companions keep noting that this is a value item. It's not the best multi-tool, but for this price point, approximately $30, give or take. I'm really astonished by how much the price fluctuates. Just in the little research I've done it, and I think if I paid $50 for this, I'd still be happy. But at $30, I'm really liking it. Some other points real quick. While there's no hot spots, and I'm going to show this off a little more because even though there's a lot of videos out about this, I'm not going to assume that you've seen them. Maybe this is the first or maybe the best video you're going to see about this. So this is going to be a multi-tool. I'm just going to open this real quick. This is brand new. I know it's kind of smooth. It's a little stiff. If I had the proper tools, I would maybe loosen these screws up a little bit. I've already put a little silicone on this when we were off camera. And it's already pointing. The spring action is beautiful. This thing has 15 tools to it. The obvious and kind of important ones: the needle nose pliers, which are regular pliers, and cutters, which are actually, I don't even have more stuff to cut right now. But I was having so much fun cutting stuff off camera, I ran out of things to cut. But going from there, and this is a real highlight for me amongst the other things on this, is this knife. And usually the knife is sort of an afterthought on a multi-tool, but this is very sharp. I cut myself on it earlier. I have not cut myself on a knife in a long time, and I was being careful, and this thing is wicked sharp right out of the box. I differ from some of my other content creators and knife experts. Many of them seem to be disdainful about the serrated edge. I like it. I think it's very workmanlike when I'm getting down to some gritty stuff and I'm cutting some thick tubing or some heavy cord or even some nice the pesky fiber reinforced zip ties, things like that. That serrated edge is it lands right where you need it. Another key feature, and this changed quite a bit from the original suspension, is his locking system, and all the outer tools are affected by this. And basically, it's like sort of a rough tab, and it's kind of serrated itself. And you pull it back, and keep your fingers well away from this wicked sharp blade. And there you go. And you have the same thing on this side. And this is another key point. These scissors, which also, like I said, all the outer ring tools lock. And once again, it's just a matter of sliding this back a little bit, and then just like back like that. these scissors work phenomenally well. I'm usually not impressed, especially with, those old classics, the ones with the red plastic handles and things like that, and they got a million tools on them, and they don't work. They don't well work. None of them work so well. But this cuts very nicely. And the spring action is beautiful. Now we're going to see, we'll do a long-term test on this results at some point. But this thing is strong. This is, you can even see, it's a strong kind of externalized spring that, and it's a very good contact on the drive part of the scissors. Yeah, you can't say anything negative about some of the key tools on here. While we have this open, this is one flaw or complaint that many people have had about this, is that some of the tools are more difficult to access, and it kind of pays to you can actually circumvent using the locking stuff by opening another tool, which is, ones were complaining that they didn't have long enough nails, whatnot. So we have our scissors, and we'll keep that out of the way so we can see what we're doing. And we have our usual, it's a small bits flathead, bottle opener, can opener. I'm actually thinking this can opener probably actually works. You see, I really slicked this up with the silicone, but I'm trying to get this thing to flow really nice. And this is supposed to be a wire stripper, and I haven't played with that either because I don't have any wire handy. And that one would also be affected by this. So we'll close these other ones, and then this one would snap in, and this is also affected by this. And this is a large bit screwdriver, but I guess it could also be considered a pry bar, if you really wanted to go that far. And once again, you just pull back the locking mechanism tab like that. Now on the other side, we have this Phillips head, which actually works nice. And they seem to be implying that this will also work for quarter-inch drive sockets. So I haven't tried that, but I'll take the other one's words for that. We have an awl, which is actually very pointy, and I love the edginess of this, And finally, a file that seems, actually works. And we know that from previous Gerber stuff, and is definitely workable. And this kind of stupid ruler thing, just to put an extra count on there, just put it on there and don't even claim about it. It's an inch and a half, like not particularly accurately depicted ruler. Like, I don't know what they're going to measure with that. And it's also sort of weird. It's like to need to put that in a locking. I could have tucked that away inside more. So that pretty much rounds out that. But I'll just show it once again. I have to get me one of those like gentlemen's or perhaps ladies' knives that have this kind of style blade, and they're like slim and elegant. And seeing, handling this blade a little bit makes me really want those that much more. This another question I have, and I guess this is maybe a question of economics. It seems like they make a note of this, integrated lanyard with this built into these plastic inserts, and there's another one on this side. And I'm kind of questioning the choice of materials. I mean, they could have put some, carbon fiber, like some fake carbon fiber or a little texturing or something, but where the lanyard part, I would have actually liked that to have been out of metal, just to like kind of take it seriously, because this plastic looks, it's probably, I could probably hang my body weight off it, but it seems like if this plastic were to crack or break, then your lanyard is going to be useless. Where, you know, a little piece of metal, and you could even have some fun with it and use like a contrasting color metal or finish to kind of access that. But, you know, whatever. Once again, that's probably a mechanism of the price points. I do like how this, you know, it's been a while since I had a decent multi tool, and I'm going to show a quick comparison. Shortly before I got this one, I think this is Hart brand, from Walmart special kind of stuff. This whole set was $16. So it was one of these flippy hickey utility knife things, and a multi tool, which is genuinely cheesy. You know, plastic handles, though it does have some kind of adjustable hardware, you know, connecting it. But the spring is laughable. The difference between handling this and this, it's like getting out of a Lamborghini and getting into a Yugo. I can't believe, you know, just handling them. I don't even want to touch this thing after touching that. But this is kind of the economy you get. You know, it's like, you know, some of these people, they're used to banging up their tools and losing them, and that's a bargain for them. So it's like, I'll pay $16 for this, and it's probably an impulse buy at that. And though I am coming to like these folding utility knives, they do have a niche. And this isn't even a bad example of that. Actually, I'm way more impressed with this part than this. This multi-tool from Hart is an embarrassment. And once again, they did the stupid plastic thing on these things over here. And at least they bothered putting some texturing on it. So I'll give them points for that above, you know, Gerber. I would have liked to have seen some, you know, some texturing or something on that. But what can you say? But it's all about these price points, you know, and I'll show you, I'll do this it's kind of a theme, where you have the better quality thing, and then you have sort of the knockoff, you know, version. But, you know, sometimes it's not a canyon. Sometimes it's just a little crack. You know, we've seen that it goes the other way with the whole Walmart that was it, Ozark Trail thing. You know, I still haven't got one of those. You know, I'd like to get one now just because of the buzz. But anyways, this went way longer than I expected. I'm sorry about that. But here we go. If you want a good multi-tool for an entry-level price without going, this is not the way to go. Do not go cheap. Shop around for value. Get something like this. Like the Gerber suspension-NXT. I'm sure some of these other brands have that price niche also, where, you know, it's well below their flagship, but affordable, you know, for people that actually have to work for a living. With that, thank you for your support. Continue subscribing and liking, and we're trying to make things better and get things up online. This is going to be a little bit of work, but we can get it through it, and I'm actually going to try to share some of that too, from that process. So I've been kind of watching these videos about how to get these videos, you know, sorted out. Yeah, not super helpful. You know, some of them are, but a lot of them not so much. So maybe I can contribute to that a little bit also. So once again, Cherokee out.